Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com. This presentation of Texas Ticket on Lone Star Community Radio is presented by True Texas Solar, Solar Energy Systems. True Texas Solar is Montgomery County's trusted provider of turnkey solutions for your home.
Lone Star Radio on my mind.
Welcome to the Texas Ticket Show. This is Armando, and I'm with Shurrie Potts.
Hey there.
Hi, Shurrie. Welcome back. I missed you last week.
Aw, I was traveling for work.
Do a lot of that, don't you?
Yes, I do. I work for a hotel
Yep.
called the Hyatt.
And bringing them into Conroe.
Yeah.
And you've got some stuff that you're sharing today about on your calendar there at the Hyatt. We'll have it the Punch Your Texas Ticket segment of the show towards the end of the program. You catch that? It's our last segment. I guess it's not the end, just a third
Yeah, it is then.
of the way.
Yeah.
2/3 of the way down. Yeah.
Which is the end.
Yeah. Stay tuned for that, and we'll also give you a lot of other events and happenings around the area. We've got quite a lineup today. We've got R.D. Floyd with us.
I know. I'm excited to hear.
A musician,
Writer.
magician, contortionist.
I don't know about that.
No, wait, maybe not that. Yeah, he's magician. No, musician.
Oh my gosh. Writer.
Digital creator.
Yes.
Yeah, and he's going to fill us all in. So we're going to get that straight, right? And also, we've got Miss LeBeau with us, and also a digital creator. She's been doing a lot of cooking online. I see her cook all the time, and I've got some foods in my category. So I don't know if you know that about me.
No, I don't.
Oh, I just love to eat.
Oh, yeah, I do know that about you.
Yes, good. I hope that is out there. And so Miss Vikki LeBeau will be with us today, and she has a little show online where she cooks with her audience and her folks regularly, and it's always real healthy.
Oh, see, I don't eat the healthy stuff.
But you gotta admit it's healthy. I admit. Oh, she put alfalfa sprouts on it. It's healthy.
No.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So she's cooking healthy, and so I wanted her to get to help us out a little bit going forward on giving us some insight on some different restaurants that maybe I don't necessarily go to or I haven't been to.
Oh, yeah. There's actually in Marcel Boulevard, there's the new Italian place opening up tomorrow.
Don't tell her that.
Actually,
I'll go
fun.
check that out.
Yeah.
Let her do all the healthy places.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure she'll explore stuff that isn't, but with that perspective.
Yeah.
She's always got the perspective of good healthy food and versus hyper processed foods and all that. And we'll talk a little bit about that with her, but more so what she's going to eat next. I want to know, and I send in Vikki. There's a new restaurant in town. Yeah, we'll send Vikki out there. And we could do that, and she can go check it out for us, come back and tell us a little bit about that. We can share it with our audience here on the Texas Ticket Show. But let's get this show started.
Yes, with
Mr.
some music.
R.D. Floyd, our musical guest for today,
Welcome.
et cetera, et cetera. Welcome to the show.
Hello, welcome.
Blessed
Glad to be
have
here.
you.
Awesome.
Man, I was wondering where to start, right? And because make sure you talk in that mic so they can hear you really
Okay.
good. Yeah, I leaned back for the first episode. I think he got out of his chair 3 times, and I'm like, ooh, I think I'm upsetting folks here. But the problem was nobody could hear what the thing I said. But
Right.
I followed some of your digital work, right? And because I do Golakeconroe does a lot of digital art and stuff like that, and you've got some really cool graphic work you do, and I love the reads and I don't mean read like a guitar. I mean read like a good article or a story. Or do you just write these?
So it's crazy. I'll have people that tell me something, and a little piece will stick, or that just they'll tell me I'll hear something, or I'll read something, or I met this lady named Tina Nardo, and she does this thing called human design, right? And she said, "Have you ever had a reading?" And I was like, no. And she said, "You should do it because it'll teach you a lot about yourself." And so I thought, let's do it. And so we did, and I learned so much about it. Well, then, I came across another thing that was basically it's a book called Think and Grow Rich, and it's by a guy named Napoleon Hill. And I read the book, and I thought, man, wouldn't it be horrible if you had the ability to just think and grow rich, but then what you were thinking wasn't who you really are.
Yeah.
And so one of the posts I did recently was just about those two things. And unfortunately, I'm not a 140 character person. I write so long. People actually doze off and wake back up and read again. So I'm good at putting people to sleep. I heard that. So anyway, so
It depends on where you're at. I mean, if I came for a read, like sometimes I'm just curious what article goes with this cool picture.
Right,
I'm like,
yeah.
this is a really cool picture, and I'm just exploring the picture, and there's words, you know,
that's right, yeah.
and I'll start reading it, and often it's spiritually motivated. It's always positive and uplifting. It has a real good energy to it.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
What would you put that to? I mean, what brings that to
you know,
play?
I really don't know. I've had people tell me that I have a really good energy, but I really don't know where it comes from. I have no idea.
Was your parents really friendly people?
Oh man, no, no.
Because usually they say the apple didn't fall far from the tree.
Well, see,
you know,
the thing
and-
is that my dad, he grew up in Florida, and they had oranges.
Okay.
You know, and so they had a lot of oranges. They had 600 acres of oranges, a bunch of oranges. And then my mom, she grew up in upstate New York, and they had apples. And so, it's literally apples and oranges. So it was a mess. I came out a big contradiction.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I don't know where it came from. I guess I just like people.
Yeah.
And I love telling stories. I started in the 3rd grade. I had a teacher pull me out of school, had a class, and tell me that I should join UIL.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, oh, okay. And she said, we have a storytelling thing. And ever since then, I've just been telling stories. And some are good and some aren't so good. But the ones I share, believe it or not, I probably read it about 5 or 6 times. And I go through it, and I'm a horrible speller. I grew up in a little town called Shepherd, Texas. It's a really, really small town. And so, God bless them, they did their best to teach me, but I have to read it several times. My contractions don't always contract, and my pronouns don't always pronounce. So it's a mess.
Well, you edit well then. I mean, because it's a good read. I've yet to stumble across that, and I mean, I'm not quite the grammar police, but
Well, at my conference I just came from, there was a lady, I think their program is called The Moth or something like that, but it's how to tell a story.
Oh, wow.
And they're actually performing in Houston, Warehouse Live coming up. But
Oh, that's cool.
it was very cool to hear about how you write a story and then be able to tell it with such, I don't know what the word is, but where you can put yourself into that story and see it.
Sure, and sometimes it's
Yeah.
like going back into the
Yeah.
story. It's almost like a video, and you're back in it again.
Like
you know?
music can bring you to a remembering,
Yeah, that's
something,
right.
Yeah.
so when you write a song, do you write songs? You
Oh,
write
yeah, I do. I write a bunch of
I
songs.
assumed
I
you were a
do.
songwriter.
I
want
do.
to have you confess it here real quick. But do you start with the beat or do you start with the story?
You know, it really just depends. So for me, I'm a real visual person. So a lot of times I'll just get an idea, and it's almost like watching TV. Imagine if you had like a Western on or something, and you were just describing what's going on in the Western, right? And then sometimes it's an idea, a story idea. Like I wrote this one called Wade in the Water With Me. And I used to work on the Mississippi River. I used to work on a tugboat. And if you've never been on the Mississippi River,
No.
it is a super fast river.
Yeah.
I mean,
We went on a casino there.
yeah. Well, so-
Maristad, I think.
I don't know, but if you're on the river itself, it's moving, right? And so there's this point in the river where back during slavery, they would literally take people out and make them swim in the river, and it was really horrible. And there's a song called Wade in the Water. There's a wade in the water. You read that song? And so anyway, I wrote a love song about it, and it's basically just this, it's a really cool song. So the idea came from a conversation with my girlfriend. We were talking, and she goes, that's horrible. And I said, but it's not. And I said, it is, but here's the thing, is that American history is so filled with things that we don't always
Yeah.
talk about. That
That is horrible, yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is that, man, love, a lot of my stuff's about love, man.
Yeah.
I just love stories, people's lives, and then people tell me the weirdest things. I don't know what it is about me, but they come and tell me.
They open up.
They do. Like one time I was at this bar, and this guy, he's smoking a cigarette and drinking a beer, and he says, he's smoking a cigarette. He goes, it's really hard to quit smoking. And I was like, yeah, obviously, And then he said, he's drinking a beer, and he said, yeah, but I quit drinking too. And I was like, how's that working out for you, And then he said, but you know what the hardest thing is? And I said, no, I don't. And he said, it's hard to say no to a woman who wants to do something. And I said, well, why is that a bad thing? And he said, my wife absolutely hates it. I thought, oh, my God. And I just thought, God.
I tell her no as often as I can.
And then he said, he was talking about how to write a song. And so he goes, yeah, bad habits are hard to break. And I got out my pen.
Oh, yeah.
And I wrote, bad habits are hard to break. And so I wrote a song about that guy. Now, it's not really about him, but it's his story. Like, literally, God, what a mess. And so you never know where they're going to come from. Some are love songs, some are just whatever I get. Inspiration hits you and you write it down.
So on one of your shows, I haven't been, I'm already regretting that. But we've got some really good opportunities coming up.
Definitely.
For tonight and tomorrow night.
Yes, sir.
I've been told the show mixes a little storytelling, a little music, a little partner share, like with Tyler and whomever. You've got a young lady coming. What's her name?
So actually, this is a guy named Sunday. There's a gentleman. His name is Zachariah Gray. He's out of Waco.
Okay.
And actually, I was playing in a little town called Cold Spring, Texas, and this guy just walks up and starts hanging out with me. And I sang a song he knew, and he had a beautiful voice.
Oh, wow.
And I just went, wow, brother, what do you do with this voice? He goes, I'm in town visiting my mom. I actually live in Waco, and I'm a musician. And I go, play me a song. So I handed him my guitar, and he just blew me away. And so he's gonna be here this Sunday at the Table of Madeley.
Oh, cool.
And really, really cool guy. So Zachariah Gray, really cool. And then tonight, can I talk about tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tonight
Please.
is Tyler Tillman is going to be playing at the Table of Madeley as well. And man, I love Tyler
Mm-hmm.
Tillman, man. That guy's got it. If I had a voice like Tyler Tillman, I'd literally just climb up on a mountain and scream at people.
And it's so nice. Yeah.
Y'all mix it up together?
We do. I
Impromptu,
try. He's
or-
so good. He's so talented. So we've actually written songs live on stage.
Oh, wow.
And just played music and made it up in the moment. And
That's so cool.
You
That
never,
is cool.
You never know what you're gonna get. So tonight I'll be opening up for Tyler, and
And it's like $10 any seat in the house, right?
That's right,
You can
$10.
come in, food. It's a covered
wanna go to
stage. Yeah, it's
oh,
going
it's
to
so
be a
much
real
fun.
nice environment.
So the Table of Madeley is amazing. It's like having Austin in
Yes,
downtown
yeah.
Conroe.
I
It's
love
such
that.
a cool
Does have
vibe.
that
And the
feel.
thing is, you completely disappear from downtown. There's no courthouse. There's no horns honking. All the stuff that happens, the busyness of downtown. You know,
Yeah.
people going everywhere, and attorneys and people who look like they need attorneys and all kinds of stuff. You know, and so, but when you get to the table, it's like you're just completely in a completely different area.
Yeah.
And the owners, Frank and Belle Jackson, such cool people, man. And they really do a good job of just community, man, bringing people together, having artists just meet people. It's such a cool place. So really, it's an honor to be able to play there. Really cool.
Well, if I could, I humbly request that maybe you play us a little something,
Oh,
give us
I'd
a
love
little
to.
flavor.
Yeah, I'd love to do that. I tell you what,
Your
tell you.
pick.
So here's what I do. I'll tell you some of the stuff I do is I tell the story. But of how the song got created, and then I play the song, and so that I had a guy walk up to me at the show one time, and he said, and it was kind of an insult, but I take insults so well, and so and he goes, I don't know why you call yourself a storyteller. He said, I'm sorry, I don't know why you call yourself a songwriter. All you do is talk, and so I laughed, and he goes, you ought to call yourself a storyteller, and I thought, God, what a great idea, and he meant it as an insult, but it was a really good
I'm
suggestion.
going to run with that.
Yeah.
And so,
gonna
I changed it, and I'm no longer a songwriter. I'm a storyteller. And the cool thing is that I do write songs, but no one gives me a hard time about telling them about it. So,
Yeah.
so it's a lot of fun. So yeah,
I
I'll
love
grab a
hearing
guitar.
the behind the
Tell us about the song.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the easy part. So this particular one. I was watching TV, and I'm really, really bad at television because I get sucked into it, and it just literally I go away to another dimension, and I can't hear what's going on, and it could be some catastrophic thing, and I completely miss it because I'm watching TV, and so I try not to watch
I'm like,
television.
is that bad or good at TV?
Yeah, I don't know.
Really
I
good
know
at
I'm
watching
really good at being bad at watching TV. And so anyway, so I was watching this TV show, and it's been some years back. It's been 10, 15 years ago. And I was watching this TV show, and there was this blonde-haired lady, and she was interviewing a guy who was on death row. Now, it's like death row interview. It doesn't really interest me too much, but the lady was beautiful, absolutely stunning, and her voice was amazing. Like the way she said words, I was just lost. Like I was watching her going, oh my God, like. So when she talked, I listened, and then whenever he talked, I just heard like Charlie Brown. And so anyway, so he had robbed a bank, and in the getaway process, he shot and killed a police officer, and so he got the death row, and he was getting the death sentence, whatever. And so he's on death row. She's interviewing him, and she says, "Are you worried about where you?" Now I don't know what else he said prior. I caught that piece, and I went, God, I have friends that are police officers and friends that are constables, and just a lot of really good law enforcement buddies, and so. I'm not paying too much attention to him. I thought, you get what you get for doing what you do, I
Yeah.
guess. But she said, are you worried about where you're going when you leave, when you die? And he goes, no, ma'am, I'm an angel. And my first thought was, yeah, with dirty wings, And so there's the song. So I wrote down Angel with Dirty Wings, and then I tried to remember what all this guy did, and so The album that this is on is called Half Lies and Partial Truths. And the reason it's called that is because as a songwriter, you don't always know whether or not the whole story. You got to make up the middle pieces.
Sure.
So some of them are kind of half lies, and some of them are partial truths, but the story is there. So you just kind of make the story go.
Nice.
So anyway, so this is Half Lies and Part. I'm sorry, no, it's not. It's Angel with Dirty Wings, and it goes like this. Well, the bank was empty, it was 9 a.m. I wrote a little note on a deposit slip. Said put the money in the bag and don't say a word, don't push that little button, nobody gets hurt. A clean getaway is like money in the bank. I guess I'm just an angel with some dirty wings. Well, that sedan DeVille was in high gear when I saw flashing lights in the rearview mirror. Well, I pulled to the right and slowed to a stop, man. I rolled down my window for a traffic cop. And I pulled the trigger before I could think. I guess I'm just an angel with some dirty wings. I said I'm fair to middling and I wish y'all well. If God was watching, I'm going to hell. If he wasn't looking, it's all the same. I guess I'm just an angel with some dirty wings. Well, the motel was quiet, it was 8 a.m. On my second cigarette when the door came in. Well, there's no sense in struggling, no time to fight. They slapped the cuff on me and they read me my rights. If they got the gallows, I'll surely swing. I guess I'm just an angel with some dirty wings. Well, they sat me for the judge for what I'd done. They had a sack full of money and a smoking gun. Well, the trial was quick and the jury was short. Took them 27 minutes, they was back in court. And they found me guilty of everything. I guess I'm just an angel with some dirty wings. I said I'm fair to middling and I wish y'all well. If God was watching, I'm a-going to hell. If he wasn't looking, it's all the same. I guess I'm just an angel with some dirty wings. And then there's a guitar part that goes on there, but it's electric, and I brought an acoustic, so it's going to go something like this. I'll do it with my mouth if I can. It gets loud. It goes like this. But a Fender. Well, judgment day come, they brought the chaplain to my cell. He said it ain't too late to save your soul from hell. And then they walked me down the hall and we finally got there, and they slapped the cap on me and they strapped me to the chair. Said, any last words before we start this thing? I said, boys, I'm just an angel with some dirty wings. I said, I'm fair to middling and I wish y'all well. If God was watching, I'm a-going to hell. If he wasn't looking, it's all the same. Another angel gets to heaven with some dirty wings. I said, an angel gets to heaven with some dirty wings.
That was great.
Outstanding, Mr. Artie Floyd, ladies and gentlemen.
Fun.
And you'll be at the table at Medley on the 20th tonight.
Yeah, tonight.
Friday night.
Yeah, tonight.
And,
It's open up for Tyler Tillman.
What time?
I'll probably get there. Well, the funny thing is I'm late everywhere I go. I suffer from a fatal disease. It's called time blindness. And so I have 2 times, daytime and nighttime. And if they schedule something for the daytime, I'm liable to show up at nighttime. And so the show kicks off officially at about 7 o'clock. Okay. And so I should play from 7 to 7:45. And then my goal was to be there around 5 to sound check and all that kind of stuff, because Tyler is the most professional music. I don't know if you've seen him play live, but he is the most professional musician. He gets there early. He gets his guitar in tune. Make sure everything is, all the wires are plugged up and there's no squeals and everything is perfect. And I'm like a monkey behind the wheel of a Ferrari, man. I'm going fast, but I'm not sure in which direction, you know. And so, the plan is to get out there tonight, man, and hopefully, you know, I know Tyler will have everything all hooked up and ready to go. He's really, really professional, amazing musician, super cool guy, one of the coolest guys you ever meet in your life. And open up. I usually start out with a little bit of prayer. Yeah. I like God a whole lot, and so start out with a little bit of prayer, and then just sing some songs and tell some stories, and just have a really good time. That's the plan.
So, and you've got another gig on Sunday, right?
I got one Saturday. So Saturday tomorrow.
Back to back.
Yeah. So we're doing. So tonight I'm playing opening for Tyler, and we're gonna hang out and watch him play because that's always a treat. And then tomorrow I'm playing a bluegrass festival.
Oh, cool.
And so there's a bluegrass festival in Cold Spring, Texas. And there's a fella there named Mickey. Now, I wish I could remember Mickey's last name. He's got a really cool last name, too, which makes me feel bad I can't remember it. But, you know, you get gray hair, you can do that. Yeah. You know, when I was younger, you had to remember everything. And so, but Mickey he's a preacher, man, and he's a bluegrass musician. Just blow your doors off. Super amazing guy. And he can play anything. He plays the guitar, plays the banjo, plays upright bass, and just everything is so amazing. And so there's about probably 30 or 40 bluegrass musicians that get together every Saturday, and they play. And they sit on this big old front porch, and it's like you're in Kentucky. It's the coolest thing ever.
Where's this at?
It's in Cold Spring, downtown. Right in the courthouse square. So if you hit 150 the courthouse square, and you just kind of roll through that red light, if you don't get a ticket for it, right there on the left, you'll see there's a big old front porch, and they sit out there and play. And so I heard it one day, and I went by, and I only played one bluegrass song. Period. That's it. And so I went and sat down, and I had a guitar for another event that I was doing, and he says, "Hey, pick us a song." And I thought, you know.
Got a song.
Yeah, these guys are amazing. I mean, really, Cold Spring is like, especially the bluegrass there is so cool. I got to meet the director of the Texas CMAs, and we were talking about bluegrass in Texas, and she goes, "You know, it's not really that big here." And I go, "Oh my God, it is. It's such an amazing, I mean, there's so many people that pull on bluegrass roots from Texas." Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so we're actually, not this year, but because she's already got it all done, but next year we're doing the bluegrass. There's going to be awards for Texas bluegrass, and she actually coined a term for it. Yeah, this will be the first time it's ever been put out. Do you want to hear what the new term is for Texas bluegrass? Yeah. It's called sawgrass music.
Sawgrass.
That's it. And so the cool thing is there'll be Sawgrass Awards in 2025. There'll be Sawgrass Awards.
Nice.
And so that's going to be really cool.
Yeah.
What's that blues thing coming to Conroe here at Heritage Park? There's the Houston bluegrass, jazz, country, rock music, opera.
Yeah.
Opera.
I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
The bluegrass was on the list, and it's here at Heritage Park. Trying to find that guy for us. It may not be on my list right now, but there is one coming to Heritage Park, and we're going to put that link down below. And after doing some homework and our team working on it, we figured out it was because it began with Houston and ended with Conroe, right? So it's the Houston blues, jazz, rock, country, or whatever Conroe festival.
Yeah.
So like, what is I saying? It says the sentence doesn't have any, verbs. I don't know what it's talking about. This is a sentence. It's a name. I'm like, boy, I'm still trying to translate here. So we figured out it was Houston-based bands.
Okay.
So that's why they call it the Houston Bluegrass Jazz Festival in Conroe.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Because they're bringing these particular Houston bands, and they're just like on their tour, and it's the same bands.
Awesome.
From Houston. So I get it, right? So now, okay, you're taking this
Yeah.
musical group about, and the show's the same wherever they go, like popping up a tent kind of thing.
Yeah.
But they're good, and last year's turnout got some pretty good reviews. I didn't get to go, and I was just scratching my head, what's going on? You know what I mean? And eventually I got told, you missed what happened.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
We have so much cool music in Montgomery County.
Yes, we do.
Oh, man, Conroe and Montgomery County in general, there's such a diversity. Mm-hmm. And you know what I like most about music in this area? I've played everywhere. I've lived in California, I've lived in Chicago, I've lived in New York, Philadelphia. God, all over the country, right? And in other places, it's extremely competitive, right? And people are just cutthroat. Like they'll not only they won't go to your shows, but they'll put you down, or if you have a big one, they'll try to book another big one just so you don't get a turnout, right? Really, really a huge mess. I used to travel around with 14 hippies, 2 dogs, a cat, and 2 dancers. Now there was an argument whether or not the girls were dancers or if they were strippers, but I called them strippers, they call themselves dancers. So I just tell everybody it's 14 hippies, 2 dogs, and a cat. And because there's the other parts, it's contested. But anyway, and so we played all over the country. And the thing is, it's a lot of competition. Yeah. But when you get into Montgomery County, you get into Conroe, you play in the Woodlands, you play out at the lake, and even Willis, and even you get into Cold Spring in that area. It's the cool thing is everybody's so accepting, and they just love you. And so it's neat whenever you see somebody, like Jeff Canada, who's he's opening up big shows and stuff like that. And he comes to your show and he goes, "Hey, I just want to give you a hug." And you're like, "Awesome, man," And so it's really cool to see that. There's and the community really supports musicians and the arts in general. So it's neat. I was at HEB the other day, and this lady comes. She goes, "You're the singer guy," and so she's going, "My husband said, don't go anywhere." And I get cold.
Don't go.
No, and I'm in like the section where like the frozen bread and stuff is at, and so I'm cold. And she's like, "Don't go anywhere." And I'm like, "Can I just go to? Could you cut me
over there? Maybe?
Yeah, like in the bread area would have been cool."
And in California, you felt like that they were kind of eating their own, just didn't really have any camaraderie in the music.
I was there in the early '90s, and I got to meet a bunch of cool people. Just a bunch of people that wound up making it, pretty big, and they were big bands. But God, California wasn't, I would say, as bad as New York or Philadelphia. It's super competitive.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really, really competitive.
Well, I can't say we're not competitive here. But just in a different way.
Well, the thing is that we compete against ourselves. We compete against ourselves.
Yeah.
We try to do better here, and so you look at venues, and it's not. I mean, I've left venues and went over to another venue and supported another artist, and so you don't see that a lot in other parts of the country.
Thing,
yeah.
though. That's
It
good
is.
people thing.
Yeah.
Well, Proverbs 24:16. For the righteous fall 7 times.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and rise again, and when the wicked stumble, calamity strikes.
Amen.
So and I feel that I really do. I think that the more we get that camaraderie, that community, that love that you said that's your centerpiece.
That's it.
You can't deviate too far from these thoughts that this is it. That's exactly what's happening, and that's exactly why we've seen so much success with our music here. Maybe we're not as good as we think, but
No, we are.
Well, the funny thing is that we take it from here. I mean, if you think about it, the very first time I ever saw Cody Johnson play was in 2003. He was just a kid.
Yeah.
He was playing at Tuts. There's a guy named Scott Brown who has a Scooter Brown band. He hosted an open mic over there. And I went over, and Scott was a super cool guy. Still is, super nice guy. He has the War Hippies. Really, really cool dude. Great music, man. And Cody hadn't have a band yet. He was, he was a young kid, and he was just trying to get his up and coming stuff, and learning and stuff. But he had a phenomenal voice. And now he's taken it to stages all over America and selling out. Josh Ward from Shepherd, Josh and Cody, they played little places here and there, and so.
Yeah,
I think
and Josh Ward's going to be over at Sam Houston's Raceway Park for the Preakness event out there.
I love Josh, man, great guy.
And I'm like, I don't know who's gonna. I mean, I know Josh Ward's going to kick it, but I don't know who's going to win the Preakness. But I'll tell you what, a cowboy can.
Yeah, that's right. That's actually
Josh is all like, no way.
Man, I love Josh,
on
man.
May 4th, same place, Sam Houston Raceway Park. Another fellow that's been on the show is going to be out there. Oh well, I'll bring it up later when I have to read through all this stuff.
That's right.
The Punch Your Texas Ticket segment, but we've got a lot of guys that have been out here from our area that are moving out and doing some different things, and I see them all over the country. Like you said, Scotty in the War Hippies, and he's working with Donnie Ray. That's not how's his name? Donnie Reese, right? Reese.
Man, to be honest with you, I'm so bad with names. I'm good with faces, but I'm bad with names.
And he's a fabulous musician. I mean, you look at the guy, and you think War Hippie, but you sit and listen to the guy. I feel like I'm listening to Chicago or something. I mean, he's got amazing piano skills. He's on the fiddle. He's just doing the whole roundabout.
Those guys are phenomenal.
Yeah, and they'll be over at the biggest Texas festival coming up in 10th, 11th, and 12th.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
Down here.
That's going to be so much fun.
And also Scotty Brown and Scotty Brown, and also someone else you mentioned is going to be there. Maybe, but the bluegrass side of things, you got Billy Strings.
Oh yeah,
He'll be out there
Wow.
and bringing that flavor here. And I was just watching him this morning. He was on this.
What a nice guy.
Trent Kelly's going to be there. That's right. Yeah. And the girl from Montgomery plays at the church. Watson. She did a Christmas album for us. She came in and did some Christmas songs, and she is amazing. Her and her father work over at the church out in Montgomery, the Cowboy Church. Well, they play music.
Yeah.
They're music. They don't work at the church, but nevertheless, we'll get that full roster down below, and you can see that. I mean, I could sit here all day and talk about the artists that are going to be there. And there's some other shows coming around the state of Texas we'll bring up at the end in the Punch Your Texas Tickets segment of the show. But Mr. Floyd, tell me about, so if I wanted to hire you from a venue to come out, do you do that sort of thing?
Yeah, definitely.
Bar
man.
mitzvahs?
Birthday
parties?
The little hat doesn't stay on my head. I don't know what the little hat's called.
Yarmulke.
Oh, okay. It's not an umbrella.
No.
Much smaller. So yeah, I do private events and,
Okay.
I'll do shows and stuff like that. And you just reach me. I'm usually on Facebook at RD Floyd Music, and then you can usually reach out to me there. And then I play at the Table of Madeley on Sundays, and I host. It's just a fun day. It's so much fun. So we get out and just celebrate God and literally just thank Him for all the stuff that we're doing. And I have people tell me that I'm overly religious, and I'm really not. I just really am grateful, man. Super grateful that I lost a finger in 2009. I was playing music everywhere and doing really good, and I wound up losing a finger. And I was told I almost lost my hand, and I was told I'd never play guitar again.
Wow.
And they said, "You're done." Like I said, I've been playing since I was 6. Like that's the only thing I know. That's been through every relationship I've ever been in had a guitar in it. Every heartache I ever had a guitar in it. Every success I ever had a guitar in it. And so I went out and I bought a $6,500 Paul Reed Smith. I couldn't afford it. And I went out and bought it, and I bled. I busted stitches.
Gosh, yeah.
All my bones were messed up in the hand. It was horrible. And it took me about 2 years to learn how to play again.
Wow.
And so I was determined I will keep playing, And so I'm grateful. Like I'm just so grateful that I still get to do this, and that wasn't taken from me.
Brought you here, brought you there, let you share, and bring that faith and bring that music and that joy and that love that you wanted to share so badly.
That's it.
You're still empowered to do it,
That's it.
and blessed to have you doing it.
I think what Conroe is
excited.
doing is we're taking some great musicians, and they're taking the what we have here it's more than just music. It's a philosophy. It's a belief system. It's a community that we get to share. And the thing is, they like our community. They like how we think, how we feel, how we share, how together we are, how close knitted we are with our families and our friends. And so I think it's cool seeing that spread out throughout the nation.
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing. It's very
Me too.
positive.
Absolutely. Let's hope it's infectious.
Yes, that's exactly right. We need it. We need it.
Yeah, he needs it. And you got. Would you like to play one more for us?
Definitely.
Please,
for
please.
sure. All right, so this next one, I got the benefit of working in the oil field for a really long time, and I used to fix drilling rigs for a living. And I was down in Laredo, Texas, and I worked all day, and it's so hot. I was probably 3 miles from the Mexican border, and it's so hot, man. And I got back to the house, and I live in Cut and Shoot, and I got back home, and I got a shower, and I got cleaned up. It was about 11 o'clock at night.
From Laredo.
From Laredo, yeah.
Okay.
And so I'd work probably, that's your, what'd you say?
It's a long drive.
Oh, that is a long drive. I thought you said it was your hometown. That says a long drive. Okay. And so, yeah, it's a long drive. And so I got in, I got a shower, my head hit the pillow, and my phone rang. And this guy, he calls me up and he goes, "Hey, RD, what are you doing?" And I said, "Well, man, I'm standing out in the backyard in my underwear building a rocket ship." I go, "Dude, I just got back in off a rig. I'm tired. I'm going to bed, man." He said, "Listen, my rig is down." And I go, "Okay, call somebody and get it going." And he goes, No, I need you to fix it." And I was like, "Man, I worked 14 hours, and I drove for 6. I'm tired, dude. I need some sleep." And he goes, "Well, listen, man." He goes, "You're the only one I know that can fix it. I need you up here." And I said, "Where are you at?" And he said, "I'm in Watonga, Oklahoma." Wow. And I thought, well, man, I'm in Cut and Shoot, Texas. You need to get somebody close, man, because I'm away. I don't even know where Watonga's at. I'm way away from you, man. And he goes, "No, listen, man, I want you to come out." He goes, "I'm down. It is what it is. I'll wait on you." He said, "How long will it take you to get here?" And I'm like, my God. I said, "Well, I got a 1 doze rule. And that 1 doze rule is once I doze off one time, I pull over and I take a 30-minute nap. I ain't trying to kill nobody."
Yeah.
And so he goes, "Man, can you get here any faster?" And I go, "Well, no, Captain Kirk. If you can beam me up, maybe. But other than that, we got a geography issue." So anyway, so I drove out there and I got early in the morning. It was daylight. I got out there and I got his rig fixed and everything. And so he says, "Hey, don't leave. I want to make sure everything runs. Can you just hang out?" And it's probably about 12 o'clock. And I said, "Well, what do y'all got in Watonga to eat?" And he said, "Well, there's a Sonic." I said, all right, I said, how many men you got? And he said, I got 10. So I drove into Watonga, Oklahoma, and he's sure enough right there was a Sonic, and I bought 10 number ones with mustard, fries, and a Coca-Cola, put them in the front seat of my truck, and I drove back out there. Now, on the way to this rig, there's a hill that goes way down like this right here, and then it comes back up. And on the other side of that hill you could see the top of the drilling rig, the crown, right? At the bottom is a bridge. And I never paid no attention to that bridge. I flew across that bridge doing 70 miles an hour, right? Never paid no attention to it. Well, I'm coming back down with all them number ones, and I'm probably doing 70, you know, before-wheel drive truck and everything. And I'm going pretty fast, and a stone hit my right rear tire, and it blew out.
Yeah.
And the truck slid this way, and it went right off missed the bridge completely. And then I realized that creek was about 70 feet wide.
Oh, no.
And about 35 feet deep. And I hit the other side. My drill flew out of the back seat, hit me in the head, busted the window. All them number ones went everywhere. And I was up looking at the ground, you know, and then I thought, as I'm flying, it was like Dukes of Hazzard, you know, but from the inside.
Yeah.
You know, because you never see Dukes of Hazzard from the inside. It's always the outside
Yeah,
of the car.
of course.
The inside, that guy's freaking out.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I hit the other side, and I was thinking, as I was going through the air, I thought, well, this is it. This is how I die, you know. And I went down in that creek, and the truck, it fell backwards. It fell down, and it fell in the creek and hung a rock, and it was sitting straight up in the air. Number ones are everywhere. There's Coca-Cola dripping, French fries everywhere, you know. And I tried to open up the door to that Ford pickup truck, and them doors are heavy. Oh, my God. And so, I finally got the door open, and I slid down the running rail, and I hit the tire, and then I hit the ground, and I dug around in my pocket to look for my phone. I didn't have it. Oh, my God. So I had to climb my old fat butt back up the tire and up the running rail and try to open the door from the outside. Now, the outside, if you're not careful, you get your fingers stuck in the slamming part of the truck sticking up in the air. Golly. So I dug around our number ones and the Coca-Colas, and I found my phone. And I slid back down the running rail, and I called the rig up. And I said, hey, now do you guys know much about the drilling community? So the guy who runs that rig is called a tool pusher, right? And then the guy who works for the company, like Chevron, he's called a company man. And so I called the tool pusher up and I said, hey, man, I said, now a lowell is this big telescoping forklift that puts stuff up on the rig floor and stuff. And you can't have a chain on a drilling rig because they'll yank your fingers off, you know? And so anyway, so I told him, I said, hey, man, I run off in the ditch down here. Can you send that lowell, that telescoping forklift down to pick me up? And he said, yeah, Artie, I can do that. And I said, hey, you got a chain? And he goes, you know we can't have chains. I said, I know you can't have them, but do you got one? And there's this long pause, and he goes, yeah, I got one. I said, all right, throw it on there, man. He's going to need it. About 30 minutes later, the motor hand comes down there, and he's on the lowell, the telescoping forklift, and he gets off, and he goes, where in the hell is your truck at? And I said, it's down there in a ditch. He gets off, and he looks over there, and he goes, that ain't no damn ditch. He goes, that's a creek. And I said, well, in Texas, we call them ditches. And so he says, I don't think this will pull you out of there, man. So I walked about a quarter mile down the creek, and I hooked it up to the daggum axle, and we pulled it up out of there, right? And got it up on the side of the road. Tire blew out. Truck was bent. The frame was bent this way and that way and this way. It was so messed up. Yeah. And so he pushed me back up to the rig. I fired the truck up, and so the fan was hitting the fan shroud. So I was a big old boy, and I just crawled up underneath it, and I pulled the fan shroud out and threw it in the back of the truck. You know, just a plastic piece. And so I drove up there, and the truck run. I thought, okay, cool. It still runs. Yeah. And so we changed that tire, and the company man comes out, and he says, hey, he said, if you can fire that truck up, I'll give you $10. And I go, well, heck, I'll take your money, you know? So I went in there and fired it up. He's like, burr, 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 you know? And he says, well, if you can drive it one time around the location, I'll give you $100. And I said, dude, if you ain't good for 10, you ain't good for 100. And so I got my ticket signed, and I was heading back to the house. I was going to drive that truck home, you know? Wow. Oh, what a mess. God, it was a mess. It had a big old bull bumper, a ranch hand bumper on the front of it, you know? And so the truck, it made this noise like this the whole. Now I cracked my sternum from here all the way down, and I broke 2 ribs, right? And so the seatbelt's what did it, you know. So it was either that or die. So I'm lucky that it happened, but I didn't feel that until I started driving home. Just the adrenaline and everything, and so anyway, I was driving home in the truck. If you went below 60 miles an hour, it was like riding a bull. I mean, you had to hang on, man. It just bucked and jumped and skipped, and I couldn't stay in the lane. And then if you went over 65, it was like riding an angry bull drunk. You know, it was like all over the place, you know. But if you hit 63, that truck, put the cruise on 63, it just kind of wiggled a little bit, but it made this noise the whole way, 646 miles. Well, I was almost to Norman, Oklahoma, and I got this little melody that came to me, and it goes, Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. And I thought, I got to write this song. And so I wrote the song. It's called Drive Too Fast, and it's about that event. So anyway, here we go. See if I can do it. This is Drive Too Fast. Something like that. Well, I was headed to a rig up in Watonga. I drove all night and I was running late. Tool pusher called and said, boy, where are you? I said, I just pulled off the interstate. Well, that old dirt road, it was smooth as glass and it was straight as a surveyor's line. I left a cloud of dust on everything I passed, and them fence posts looked like a dotted line. So don't you drive too fast down them old dirt roads if you want to keep your truck out of the trees. And I know you could go faster, but this ain't the Dukes of Hazzard, and you ain't driving the Generally. Bum 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 bum. Well, I was cruising down a hill about to cross a creek when I saw the rig up on the right. And a sharp white stone hit my right rear wheel and blew a big hole in the side. Well, that slick red road became a sheet of ice, and that blown tire caused my truck to veer. I was turned hard left, but I kept going right. It didn't matter which way I steered. So don't you drive too fast down them old dirt roads if you want to keep your truck out of the trees. And I know you could go faster, but this ain't the Dukes of Hazzard, and you ain't driving the Generally. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Well, them old Ford trucks, they were built for speed, but they sure weren't built to fly. And a bridge rail built by Rig Road Creek weren't meant to stop a truck that size. So I flew off of a bridge just near Watonga. And that old Ford truck took flight just fine. And it hit hard on that high creek bank and broke a couple of ribs of mine. Well, how it didn't kill me is beyond me. I reckon like that's hard to survive. But part of me thinks the good Lord spared me so I could tell all you roughnecks how to drive. So don't you drive too fast down them old dirt roads. You want to keep your truck out of the trees. And I know you could go faster, but this ain't the Dukes of Hazzard, and you ain't driving the Generally. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Now remember, boys, if you're gonna drive that fast, get yourself a Ford. Put your seatbelts on.
I like that. That's really good.
That's a fun one, man.
I liked it more than the story.
Yeah. You know,
that story was, I was about to cry for you. I was like, damn, what happened to all those number 9s or number 1s?
Well, so what's
terrible.
funny is I got to the rig, and the fellas opened up the door, and they picked all the fries and burgers out and ate them anyway.
I would have got the burgers out. I think that would have been an easy grab.
Yeah, it's a drilling rig, man. They're tough.
Let's pack everything up and head over to the table at Medley.
Let's do it, man.
Let's go.
Yeah,
folks, we'll be back later.
All right.
Lone Star Radio on my mind.
Texas Ticket is sponsored by True Texas Solar, Montgomery County's trusted provider of turnkey solar solutions for your home. True Texas Solar provides renewable clean energy services to residential homeowners seeking energy independence to reduce or eliminate electrical utility grid costs while utilizing government and manufacturing incentives for renewable energy savings. True Texas Solar can be reached by phone at 936-286-8325 or visit them online at www.truetexassolar.com.
Lone Star Radio on my mind.
Welcome back to the Texas Ticket. It's Armando with Shurrie Potts. And our special guest, Vikki LeBeau.
Hi.
Vikki, welcome to the show.
I'm glad to be here.
I'm glad you're here. Oh, yeah, you put that sucker on vibrate.
It is, but
Or
it just
maybe,
vibrated, so now I'm moving it away from that.
Airplane mode. Yeah, that one works a lot. Yeah, you'll be good. So I first run across you online, and you are cooking with the aerial cam. You got that cam. Where's that camera at? How do you do that?
It's on a stand, but I have it on a book and several books, and then up, so you can get a view of the counter at the same time. It's kind of difficult. I'm not all techie.
Yeah, and you're cooking some healthy foods.
Usually it's
and preparing
healthy.
those recipes and sharing them with the other ladies here on the lake and the county.
Making them up, I was like on the fly, as
Tell
we
me
all
about
do.
that. What do you do? Tell me about your show there and all about that.
It's really not a show. It's just in my kitchen by myself because I'm hungry and I got to make something. And probably my favorite thing to make is the fridge soup. So that's where
in
I
the
think at
fridge.
the end of the week, and I don't want to go
yeah.
grocery shopping,
Chunk
and
everything with
I have to make some fridge soup. So I
Yeah.
open up my refrigerator and I go, this will be good. This will be, and sometimes it turns out not so good, but most of the time it's good.
Do you just press delete on those? Do you do it live?
No,
or
I do it
you-
live. It's
wow.
every single time it's live. So
That's
if I
awesome.
say my gut and I meant my head, it is what it is, and they just have to kind of, think it through.
Has it always been cooking for you? Is that what you've been doing online?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
also
it's
food
about
based.
health, and so for me, I was sick a long time ago, years ago. I couldn't lose weight for the life of me. I went through that whole change of life. I had kids late in life, the whole thing, and so I needed to figure out how I was going to live my life and eat healthy food and have it taste good at the same time, but quick. So that's what I kind of started doing, and I realized that most of us eat on the fly.
Oh yeah.
And so if I can make stuff that tastes good in my kitchen and save me a lot of money, and I just started doing it, and people are like, well, what's in that recipe? I'm like, 5 things. It's super easy. And that's kind of how it started. And I started it at my work. I had kind of a makeshift kitchen with a hot plate and showing them how easy it was. And people were like, gosh, if she can do it with a hot plate, I can do it with an oven and stove and microwave.
Yeah.
Come on now, right?
Hot plates are pretty good to work on, though. They're not
I'm
bad.
with you.
Yeah.
I like the George Foreman.
Yeah.
Love that thing.
It's like, what could I not cook on this?
Yeah,
Oh, it's
I've
like-
blown through 5 or 6 of those easy.
And I've noticed the healthy part. And is it based on like a worry about salt or sugar?
It's mostly just trying to keep my carbohydrates down.
Carbs,
So
okay.
it's carbs in general. So I did my DNA, and what I found was that I'm carb sensitive and fat sensitive, which I did not realize because I was eating a lot of healthy fats, avocado, olive oil, coconut oil. I mean, all those things. But I realized after doing my DNA, I was sensitive to those. So then I had to change my way of cooking and thinking, and it made a huge difference in just even my appearance. I noticed my face isn't so inflamed, my fingers, everything. So there is something to say with knowing your DNA.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because your body processes things differently.
Yep.
Well, I'm no scientist, but Newton often said that the bigger the mass, the greater the attraction. So, I'm not
All right.
sure exactly.
Whatever's exciting does it for you, I guess, right?
Well, I mean, it's the consumer. I mean, everybody eats their own perspective of what's good.
Right.
It's like a lot. Give me a lot of soup, and well,
Well, but
That's
everybody has different what's good for them. Like,
yeah, and it's a matter of
Right.
perspective, all the way down to portioning, right? So, I mean, a lot to me could be this bowl, and a lot to you could just be a full bowl of the normal serving bowl. It just would depend. I mean, like if I'm gorging on the side dish, it's just I'll just take the mac and cheese again, please. And then just boom. But I think getting to know a food and getting to have you sample it first, or maybe try those things, I think, or prepare them, and I watch and like, oh well, I don't have vanilla. No, glad I watched. We're not doing that. You know what I mean? Before you got started and said, French toast. I love French toast. Would you like some French toast? Sure. We both like some French toast. And you go in there, oh, we don't have that. Oh. So when we watch you make a more complex recipe than French toast, I get to decide, how we don't have that. So I'm automatically scratching it. Right. So, and all your shows are on your page, right? So I can just go down there and watch all the recipes, right?
My page is wide open to the public. I've made it so everybody can watch it. And what's nice is Facebook opened it up. It used to be 5,000 members. Now it's like I have 5,280 something. I'm like, freedom. The more people that we can get cooking in their kitchen,
and who knows where it would be if it wasn't that way before. And you've volunteered to help. Well, I guess we kind of persuaded you. Maybe to help us with some food tasting around Montgomery County.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of fun. I started today, actually.
Nice.
Yeah. And tell us where you went today.
So I went to Beck's
Prime.
Mm-hmm. And that's out in Panther Creek, you said?
It is.
Grogan's Park.
Grogan's Park,
yeah.
Yes.
Did you have a milkshake?
I didn't know.
See, she knows what it is.
Yeah. Well, they have a Beck's Prime at Memorial Park.
So I'm trying to keep it on the healthy scoop, right?
Well.
So if you want to have a milkshake,
they're known for their milkshake.
Are they?
Yes.
See, now that I didn't have any clue.
Neither did I.
I was thinking there was going to be a tablecloth.
So
I was going to
They
sit
have a
down.
Beck's Prime in the middle of Memorial Park. So when you're walking and trying to be healthy, all you smell is the amazing hamburgers.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And so tell us about the place. Tell us what you thought of Beck's Prime, what it looks like over there in Panther Creek, and how it works for people who have never been.
So I was kind of like you. I thought Beck's Prime, and I think prime rib, and I think, ooh, fancy dancy. And so even the fellow that was here earlier, he was talking about, well, is like Perry's. So that's kind of where I was going when I walked in. And so when it turned out to be, floorboards made out of wood and just kind of like a good old home cooking, I was like, okay, cool, I can handle this. And I got up there and there was a lot of meat on the board, which I'm all good with meat. So I was going to have a hamburger, but then I decided I could have a hamburger pretty much anywhere.
Yeah.
And so they had a ground chuck covered with onions, tomatoes, and cheddar cheese. That was
Cheese on it, really?
It was. Yeah. It was really good. So I did that, and it was all melted and everything. So that's what I had. It was called the Volcano.
Okay.
And then my friend that I went with, she had the fajitas with the ribeye. She upgraded to the ribeye. And so I got to try some of the ribeye meat, and that was delish. She had a medium.
And this counter order, right? So you go
counter order, you grab a tray.
No waiters.
No waiters, no waitresses. It's just kind of on your own kind of thing.
Yeah, and you just go up, you get your tray, you come back with it like you would at a barbecue or a smokehouse or something like that. More like that effect.
Yes.
Yeah, that's interesting to me. I think a lot of people aren't aware of that.
Is it brand new?
So she said it's been there a really long time. She was talking about how her and her husband, when he was a husband at the time, and they've been married for a really long time, went there for their dates. And they would sit out by, there's a lake in the back.
Yeah.
So they would feed the squirrels the rest of their french fries.
I did not know that.
So it was pretty cool.
Squirrel approved fries.
Yeah.
We've got that on the list. And the ribeye fajitas. There's a few restaurants out here that serve ribeye fajitas. I think Seven Lenguas does one. And El Bosque does a ribeye fajita. And Monkey Tail does a ribeye chicken fried steak.
Ooh. So I've never eaten chicken fried steak in my whole entire life.
Oh, my gosh.
I know. It's crazy, isn't it?
I think the ribeye chicken fried steak is probably one of the best ones I've had.
chicken fried chicken.
Me too. Yeah, normally I would always skip to the chicken fried chicken as
I'd
well.
rather have a steak than...
I think I'll have to do it sometime before I, hit the big sky.
Yeah.
Lots of gravy.
Yeah.
Lots of gravy. And so we're going to have you come revisit us again and tell us a little bit more about some food places, probably maybe once a month, twice a month or something like that, when you have something for us. And but we are going to follow along on your page and check out you cooking all this healthy stuff and doing things like that. But I think a food aspect was really important to the show. And more so
We
maybe
like to eat.
yeah, and there's things at these festivals. There's these very competitive food trucks, and they're from all over the state and even the country at times, depending on which one you're at. I recently attended at B52 Brewery and a taco festival, and authentic food from this era in Okinawa and Japan. That my son was in the Marine Corps. He was down in Okinawa, and he's like, man, you're very lucky to have attended that. You had what? And I kept telling about the different foods we were trying that were unique. I mean, they were cooking, grilling squid, hibachi, this big.
Oh, it's great.
And just all over the place. I mean, everything was unique and different, and all the food had a different flair to it. And I was like, man, I want to eat a little bit of everything here, you know? And I thought that was the coolest diversity in food that I'd seen here in Montgomery County in a long time. That was just, everything was new to me.
I will try anything once. Actually, I take that back. I'll try anything twice. That's because if I didn't try lamb a second time, I would still have not
Yeah,
eaten it.
because if it's not done right.
Right. And
yeah.
I had somebody in LA a long time ago talk me into lamb a second time, and I was so glad he did. He was very
What type?
persuasive.
What'd you have?
It was the lollipops.
Oh, yeah, those are
Ugh,
great.
It was delicious. First time, not so much.
Yeah.
Second time, off the charts. And I know how to cook that too. Really easy. 3 ingredients.
some lamb
4
chops.
ingredients.
So where can they watch your cooking?
At my Facebook, Vikki LeBeau,
Okay.
Facebook. Like me, friend me, follow me, all that great stuff.
Awesome.
I'll even answer you back. My phone number, you can call me, go through my website, which is tldonline.us, and get my phone number. I'll call you back.
Cool.
So,
And then you're going to be taste testing? Is that what I?
yes.
Oh, nice. Are you going to be reporting back on it? Like
I
on your
will. It
page
sounds
or-
like it's going to be
Yeah.
a deal.
Is there something you have in mind as your first place to go check out?
So you sent me something. What was the name of that
I
place?
did. I sent you. It's out there in the Harvest Market in Magnolia Thoroughfare. It's a healthy food pre-packed type place where they pre-pack the meals, and had a real nice unique part to that. But I'm not gonna let the cat out of the bag yet, so they don't know you're coming. And
Right.
go try that out for us, and let us know what that's all about. I mean, I you know those where you ship your food in every
Yeah.
week and all the meals are pre-prepared. Well, they'll do something similar to this, and I've seen this on 2854 at a few different places. There's 2 or 3 places that it's all refrigerators when you go in there, and
Yeah,
it's
like My Fit
Right.
Foods was back when it was.
yeah, and you just go and you pull it off the shelves, and they had a real healthy twist to it. And see, now my problem with going and do it myself is that, you know, I'll have the alfalfa burger, and you know, maybe I won't like it, you know.
Right,
And
right.
it's like, man, I am not driving back over there to go try something else to find something I do like.
So you're going to.
Yeah, so we're gonna send you.
It's okay. I'm in. I'll definitely do it.
Well, hopefully you can discern better on a choice than I can, because I'm going to go for the bad food that they try to convert to good food, of course. You
Right.
know what I mean? So, you know, yeah, it's not going to, it doesn't end well for me.
Well,
don't
I can
think.
go for. I'll go for the bad food too, and I'll let you know
Yeah.
if it's good.
And then some
because-
some staple that you do like. I mean, if you recognize something on their list, it's a must grab. You know, definitely try it out and give us that. We'll add it to our facebook.com/TX ticket, where you can find the Texas Ticket Show, and links to the upcoming episodes and the past ones.
Yeah.
Crazy photography, some coming events, things like that. And now, in addition to some of our foods coming up, and I would definitely venture into having you try some of the food trucks that are at some of the upcoming festivals.
I am all about that. So my thing is French fries. I love a good French fries. So when you talked about milkshake, I didn't have a milkshake, but I did have French fries.
Nice.
And they were truffle Parmesan French fries.
Oh,
Oh.
those sound good.
Would I have them again? That's the question. So ask me.
Oh, would you?
No.
Oh, why? Too much truffle?
They weren't. I like crispy French fries.
Ah.
And they were
The truffle
soft.
made 'em
and
wet?
I don't know. I
It's
know.
yeah,
I'm
they
not.
put
I'm not a cook or a chef or any of that. It's just that I like them when you pick them up, they stand out straight instead of salt.
Yeah.
I don't like that. But that's just me. Somebody else
I
might
like
really
them
like
crunchy
them.
too.
Yeah.
But the home cuts always come out that way. You know, when you do the home fries, and
Well-
they still got a little skin on them, they're never really.
I don't know. I went down
She's
to
like, "What,
Dominican
mine are
Republic
good."
this
They
past
got
year.
that working.
Ooh, I had French fries every day. I'm so glad I don't live there.
I was at Red Brick Tavern the other day. We had the home cut fries, and then I mixed them with the sweet potato fries, and they do a little Parmesan stuff on there. They're so good.
Were they crispy?
I fought it. Yeah, they're semi crispy. That I don't think they're like, you know,
Yeah.
they're more like, you know, just a little bit. You know.
Right. They gotta have just a crisp.
Yeah, great flavor though. They had the sweet potato. I was kind of surprised, you know, because I was thinking, normally I pass on
I
the
love
sweet
Red
potato
Brick.
frise. I do love red brick, you know, but normally I'll pass on the sweet potato fries, take the
Right.
regular fries over it, or onion rings. You know, I'm battling there, let alone at a third party.
Yeah, right.
You know,
I love onion rings too, man.
no.
It's all good. Good.
Too
fried
much
food.
trouble, but now now it's the two of them rather than the onion ring in the
Yeah.
mix, you know. But I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it, and I know there's some food that we that are in my head other than the that place that we
There's
mentioned.
a new, it's called Tuscany Italian
That's
in
right.
Marcel Boulevard right in Grand Central. They're opening.
You familiar with Marcel?
A little, just a little bit.
We know where it is, though.
Yes.
It's
Right
where
by the
Meze and Camilla's.
I saw, yes.
Yeah,
the-
so
over by.
they're opening today.
Oh, I'll
Go
have to
check
get over there
that out.
soon.
Well, I'm glad you came, Vikki. I'm looking forward and shared a little bit about Beck Prime with us, and I'm looking forward to your investigation.
Report back.
Yeah, check out
It'll be fun.
Yeah, check the ice machine. Looking. yeah.
Ma'am,
I
I'm
gotta
going to
do
have
that
to check
too?
out your ice machine.
I know how to do that. I used to own a
Only if
bar,
you
so
feel
I
like
know.
it.
Looking for that
If they
sludge.
let you back there, I mean, I don't know why they let Marvin back there all the time. Boy, he was back in everybody's place. You knew what he was going to do. You think if Marvin was coming, you'd have cleaned your ice machine before he got there. I mean, it's his
No, it was
go-to.
a surprise. It's always
It's a surprise. There you go. It's a surprise. They just let him back there. He's no
Oh
different
my
than
gosh.
you. ABC 13 does not empower the man to be able to check your ice machine. He has no legal authority to go back in your kitchen. You do.
All right.
You're-
We'll see. We'll see if I can pull that off.
You do. I'm joking. You
I'm
do
taking
not.
you with me, and I'll send you
I'm
back
like,
there.
only if you bring the health department.
You can totally go.
Well, Vikki, I look forward to seeing you and catching back up about just that, and following and keeping up and sharing some posts from your Facebook page and some of the stuff
Okay.
that we'll go through. And I'll fish through for some food favorites, and I'll share some of those this week, and so people can kind of get into your style. And one last note before we leave you, I wanted to mention that maybe, have you ever seen the GoPro head cam? You know what I'm talking about?
I'm going to walk into a restaurant with a GoPro head cam. Is that what you're thinking?
No,
It's like,
no. If you're at home cooking show.
Oh,
Yeah. So you put this it's like a headband. It's like the thing you hold your hair back with.
Right.
But it holds the GoPro. So when you're cooking down at the pan, you can look down right at it and have that piece going. It does require editing on the back, which I know you don't like. But nevertheless, the headband works really cool. I've used it a few
I'm
times.
so busy. It's just like live. Here we go, and then send, and wherever it goes into the world. Then it.
I'd love to get a shot of you asking the folks to look at their ice machine. So if you get that opportunity,
Oh, my
excuse me, ma'am,
gosh.
do you mind if I come back and look at the ice machine? I would just love to see the reaction on people's faces. I think that might be just as good as the review itself.
I think it probably would as well. I think where I'd start with that is the gas stations. Going in
gosh.
there and check out those ice machines.
No, thank you.
I don't think they'll let you. They know better.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say I don't think they should.
Well, all right, Vikki, we can follow you on your
Facebook page.
yeah, and that is
Vikki LeBeau. It's spelled Vikki LeBeau, LeBeau.
there. It is. Okay. And we'll put the link down below. Vikki,
You
thank
got
you
it.
so
Nice
much
to
for
meet you.
coming,
Thank
and I
you.
can't wait to have you back. I'm looking forward to it.
Me
Our,
too.
our field agent.
It's gonna be fun.
Thank you, Vikki.
Thanks.
We'll be right back with the Punch Your Texas Ticket segment of the show right after this.
So won't you kick your feet up if you have a minute?
Texas Ticket is sponsored by True Texas Solar, Montgomery County's trusted provider of turnkey solar solutions for your home. True Texas Solar provides renewable clean energy services to residential homeowners seeking energy independence to reduce or eliminate electrical utility grid costs while utilizing government and manufacturing incentives for renewable energy savings. True Texas Solar can be reached by phone at 936-286-8325 or visit them online at www.truetexassolar.com.
Tune into 104.5. Lone Star Radio on my mind. So won't you kick your feet up?
Welcome back
if you have
to the Texas Ticket. This is Armando and Shurrie. This is the Punch Your Texas Ticket segment of the show. What a fun time.
Yeah,
I like RD.
I do too. Yeah,
He was really good.
I
and
think I am going to go to the table in Italy.
me too.
Yeah.
Me too. And Vikki LeBeau, I didn't say it in front of her, but we've been watching her cook for years, years, and it's always her looking up like this, and you just never got an idea of. And I met her at the Net Level Up networking event over at the
yeah,
Moonshine
I didn't
Deck.
get to make it. How was that?
It was fun. It was really good. But it's kind of awkward. The only two Net Level Up meetings I ever attended were both at the same exact place.
Oh yeah.
I felt like it was continued. It's part two, you know. But it was really fun. We got to do some networking and meet a lot of folks out there. And you could check the Net Level Up networking group there. and see where they're going to be. I think they used to do something at Goose's Acre, but did it close down? Is that
Not
what happened?
Goose's Anchor is still there. Baker Street. Is the one that
Baker
closed.
Street, that's
Yeah,
where it
closed.
was. Yeah, and it closed down,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Okay. And so that's where they held it before. So now they're relocating. So I don't know where it's going to be permanently. Maybe Moonshine Deck.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know. But there's so much stuff going on coming up here and there. Let's just talk about all the major holidays that are.
Arbor Day.
Arbor Day, really? I didn't have that on my radar, did I?
What?
Is that why you were saying that first?
I think it's like
I
Friday.
don't remember even writing Arbor Day down.
The only reason I know is because we donated, like every employee donated $5 so that we could wear jeans, but the donation goes to Arbor Day
Oh wow, cool. That's
to
neat.
plant trees.
You know, I'm going to run through this list and
You go ahead.
kind of just mention a few things here. But first of all, Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, yeah.
It's a given.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, May 5th, and
Savage
Mother's
de
Day.
Mayo. Yes,
Mother's
Mother's
Day,
Day,
the
we
12th.
have I'm just going to interrupt you real quick.
Okay.
We have Mother's Day brunch. So we have 2 settings and you can book it online
Awesome.
at Hyatt.com.
Okay, and
HyattRegencyConroe.com.
there you go. And is there carnation or something like that, or should I bring my own? Or
Carnation. Like
a little
flowers?
flower on the table. Give
I mean,
moms.
yeah,
Does
they'll-
everybody come in?
they'll-
There's this big white 5-gallon bucket where you give all the moms a flower when you walk in.
Probably not. Probably not.
Yeah, it's a nice touch.
Yeah.
Just saying. Throwing that out there, you know.
I think they are going to have some music. I'm not sure, but
well.
I think so.
So Mother's Day is the 12th, and Memorial Day is the 27th, May 27th. National Waitstaff Day is May 12th.
Okay.
And we wanted to bring that up. I mean, if you look at these, like the American calendar of events, there's like 10 things every day that day is, right? But National Waitstaff Day is pretty important.
This past Wednesday or tomorrow, whatever, is admin day. So if you have
Is
a
it?
secretary, don't
Yeah,
forget.
take her to lunch. May 4th is the Kentucky Derby, and May is considered the National Wildflower Month.
Oh, is that why you eat
April
all
showers
the
bring May
yeah,
flowers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. It kind of.
But that's where all the people go take all the pictures.
Yeah.
The wild or bluebonnets and flowers
It's
everywhere.
suited. I don't know if it was already kind of the thing, you know, because
okay.
they bloom, and then they kind of just paired this nicely in there.
They just
seems
named
well appointed, you know. But the Kentucky Derby now that's the Belmont Stakes, the Preakness, and the Kentucky Derby, and since there's a few events about it, I want to just kind of go into that just really quick. You know, to win a Triple Crown, you have to win all 3 of them,
Mm-hmm.
which. You know, I'm not much into horse racing, and hasn't been a lot of horse racing in Texas, that kind, to that level. I mean, again, all of these 3 events are held elsewhere in the U.S. But we are celebrating in a few different places. Bernhardt Winery is doing Derby Day, and there's a few other Derby Day style events that are going on. One over at Sam Houston Raceway Park, we mentioned, with Jake Ward.
Yeah.
Cowboy Ken, and he's going to be out there, and the day of the Preakness,
Okay, yeah.
right? And it just 13 horses have won the Triple Crown in total out of all the years it's been done, and it's been going on there. They're saying since like 1880s.
Jeez.
It just didn't have the title Triple Crown, and they
Yeah.
fight for who named it that. But and some of the horse names here, there are as of 2024. Only 2 horses that have ever won are currently living.
Wow.
The Triple Crown, all
Yeah.
3. And that would be, I think everybody has heard of American Pharoah and Justify. And those are the 2 that are currently alive. American Pharoah won in 2015, Justify won in 2018, which I thought that was really cool. I want to know more about that, and I mean, I love the intrigue to it, but it's.
Have you ever gone to
I've been to a
horse
horse race,
Yeah.
and I've seen some horse races, and I've been to the rodeo.
Yeah. Well, no, but the rodeo's different. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I've raced horses, you know, but straight lines, you know,
Yeah.
never circle tracks, and it's like kind of like I've raced my buddies, but we never circle track raced other than school.
You're
you
too
know,
tall to be a jockey.
collegiately. Yeah, way too big. You know, we were meeting with some of the guys who were with the Montgomery County Fair and Rodeo, some with the PBR, and they were all really small.
Yeah.
Like a horse jockey
Yeah.
would be, you know, and so the Bronco guys are a lot smaller, and you know, they still get all the girls, you know, from what we found out, you know, and that's inside. That's inside information there.
Okay.
Yep. So I think that's the what's going on there. Now Bernhardt with let's see, let's go over to the Bernhardt Derby Day event, and there's 3 days they could do it, right? So I want to make sure we've got the right one for the Derby Day. There it
It's
is.
May 4th.
May 4th, right? Celebrate the 150th Derby Day at Bernhardt Winery. So I guess this is the 150 birthday. I'm not sure how they would have come up with this date. But nevertheless, 150th,
Do you have
we'll go
your
with it.
Derby Day attire? Like your pin, what is it called?
It's crazy you say that because they were talking. There's an actual contest going on there
yeah.
at Bernhardt, and there's like bottles of wine. You got to stay there for
It's
the
a whole
judging.
thing. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, and the hats, the sundresses, and I don't know what to wear. What thing were you talking about?
It's like the checkered suits that guys wear. I can't think of what it's called.
Checkered.
Seersucker.
It's a thing?
Yes.
Seersucker.
That's it.
No, I don't have one of those.
You gotta check it out. They're pretty good.
Does it come with like that wafer hat, that little?
I think it comes separately, but yeah, that's part of it for sure.
So best dressed competitions at Bernhardt for that, and that's May 4th from 12 to 5. 12 to 5. And the Berkshire Zenefit over at the Corner Pub.
Yeah.
That still hasn't happened yet. I'm looking forward to the time. I think that's the Cinco de Mayo. And this is for the cause. It's for a nonprofit, I believe, back together different adult. The Berkshire Project is a music arts summer camp for differently abled adults. We're stoked to be a part of it. So that's going over to the Corner Pub, Cinco de Mayo, and it starts at 2 p.m. So you can catch some of that folk family revival, Alex Saxon and the Satisfaction, Kenny and the Spider, John Crichton. Diamond Rio. Whoop, whoop. Going to be a do-si-do. Do-si-do, April 26th, 7:30 p.m. Doors open at 5:30. Dinner. And you get that massive chicken fried steak that you've been longing for. That right there, they've got a record breaker there. That thing is huge, swimming in gravy.
Yeah.
You can get that over at the Do-si-do.
Sunday.
April 28th. There it is. Diamond Rio. Reverend Sean Amos. He's going to be at the Whiskey Bar. So a little more intimate of a location, which this guy's loud. I mean, I've listened to some of his music. I wasn't really familiar with him. And so I went and did some Reverend Sean Amos homework. He's good. He's got some really good songs. Some that were so dramatically different from the others. I'm thinking this is a good show, a real good contrast in music. So I could get some of that more bluesy, jazzy feel, and that more of that almost like a reggae pop. No, reggae rock more so, less pop.
Yeah.
But bluesy, jazzy. It's nice. And I thought that Whiskey Bar was, when I saw that, I was like, oh, that's better. Yeah, I thought that's going to be a real good environment for him and a really cool, fun show.
Yeah.
So I marked him, and out of the and I'll tell you, there's a show almost every day at Do-si-do. I mean, there's like hundreds of shows. So I went through and selected the ones that I thought were enjoyable, that were something I'd want to go to.
Yeah.
And I listened to all the artists, every single one of them.
They're great.
Every single one of them. I did see something that caught my eye this week while going through these things. I saw a new name for the School of Rock. SOC. This term SOC threw me over and over. I'm like, what is that SOC business? So I had to do my homework. It's School of Rock, and they're going to have a performance at the Kids Fest.
Cool.
The big Kids Fest that's coming with
on Saturday.
Yeah, April 27th, the Kids Fest, presented by HEB, an event by City Conroe Parks and Recreations at Heritage Place, is a free event for the family.
It's
you can bring
huge.
everyone out. Yeah. Thousands, I think, is certainly going to be on hand. It starts at 10, goes to 4, and during the show, SOR, not SOC,
Yeah,
SOR,
like, wait, that's not right.
SOR Conroe, School of Rock, SOR Conroe, offers a spring 2024 session where students can learn to play guitar, bass, keyboard, drums. They play songs such as Black Sabbath, Rolling Stones, System of a Down, Amy Winehouse, The Who, Tears for Fears, and the house band. They are the house band, right? So the School of Rock's house school.
That's cool.
Yeah. They're going to be performing for the Conroe Kids Fest, the 27th, and they're 11:45 to 12:30. You can catch that show at the Heritage Park, and if you haven't seen them go, they go. They cut it loose. They don't hold nothing back.
Yeah.
I think they lost the shy and the timid and just went ham. And last time we saw them was at the Margarita Boat Show on the lake, and they were on the main stage and just tearing it up. It's the best band I've seen in a long time.
Really?
Yeah, and they're all like barely, the guitar is bigger than they are, you know. I'm like, man, these kids are killing it. Really good. Really enjoyed that. It's a fun ad, and it's a free show. Bring the family out, inspire some young people, and let them have a good time too. You know, all that's happening again Saturday, April 27th, 10 to 4, right here in the Heritage Place. I mean, that's going to be awesome. The Big Texas Bash. The Big Texas Bash is featuring Randall King, Roger Kreger, Jesse Daniel, Wynn Williams, and this is in Bandera, Texas. You're going to punch your Texas ticket in Bandera. And you go down there. This is happening April 26th, this Saturday. So you can go down this Saturday and Sunday, and you can catch this show.
It's Friday, Saturday.
Friday, Saturday. Thank you. Friday, Saturday. Catch the show tonight. Wow. I hope I didn't miss Randall King. Or Roger Craig. Randall King's good. Anyway, you can get all the details. It's at 307 11th Street, Bandera, Texas, and that's 830-796-4849. Catch that show there and get your Texas ticket punch for the best cowboys and cowgirls are coming to Bandera. It says, all right. Savage de Mayo.
Yes, with our friends.
The Ice House Conroe.
Yeah.
The Ice House Conroe. That's going to be awesome. I mean, $5 imports, $5 margaritas, $5 everything, it seems. Grand opening event. It's free to get in, and they're doing the Lamborghinis, McLarens, the kit cars, the Testarossas.
They'll have some food trucks.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and some live music. And then on the 11th, they're doing the slingshots down there. It says Monarch on the side. It's where the old shout house used to be.
But the new sign's coming up. Is that what she said last
Yeah,
week?
she said.
So.
And I went by last week, and it was still Monarch. And I was like, that's confusing. They should change that. But they said they'll have it ready for the grand opening. So, but, we wanted to make sure everybody here knew where it was over there on the north loop on the way to the Montgomery County Airport and the Montgomery County Fairgrounds. Savage de Mayo. You can catch that there. All right. Cannon Brandon, Justin Gates, and they have a third with them. They're bringing Jace Ward, and they're gonna be performing at the Pacific Yard House April 27th, 8 p.m.
Yeah.
These guys are really good, up and coming. I really enjoy both of them. I love Cannon Brandon, his full band, and then he added Justin Gates to it, who's got this real raw country sound. It's just so strong. I really like it, and we've enjoyed going to his shows. And we've seen Cannon Brandon, his band, just cut loose on just cover tunes and in his younger days, and he's really coming to call here and doing some good things. And you can catch his show over at the Pacific Yard House at 8 p.m. on April 27th with Justin Lane Gates and Jace Ward.
Did Kids Fest.
Dust off your boots and hire a sitter because we're bringing the honky tonk outdoors. What is that? 7 to 9 p.m. Friday, May 17th.
That was Savage de Mayo.
Is that Savage de Mayo?
Yeah. No.
Really?
Just kidding. Where is that?
Where is that? Oh, Pine Market. Free admission. Show for top center adult event along your favorite classic cool water band. The Cool Water Band. Mechanical Bull. Yeah, Friday, May 7th looks like the see the link in the bio. Cool Water Band, that's going to be at Pine Market. So the Pine Market's having a Dust Off Your Boots, Hire a Sitter event at the Honky Tonk Outdoors at the Pine Market from 7 to 9 p.m. May 17th. You can kind of check that out. I'd double check that one.
Yeah.
Before you get in a car and drive down there.
Where's Pine Market in there?
Pine Market, it's on the thoroughfare, Harvest Market. It's that whole new center over there. Yeah. It's really cool. It's real pretty. I guess everything's brand new, so yeah, it's cool. But let's see. All right, well, that one's done. Let's see. I got a few Cynthia Mitchell Woods Pavilion events that are coming up. May 9th, Kenny Chesney is going to be playing.
I'm going to be there.
7:30 to 9:30 over at Cynthia Mitchell Woods. May 31st, Dave Matthews Band. Yeah. I've seen them there. May 2nd, Hoosier.
Hosier.
Is that?
Yes.
That's not how it's said, is it?
Yes, it is.
Is it really? Hosier. Well, Hosier and Hose B are all going to be over at the Cynthia Mitchell Woods Pavilion May 2nd, 7 to 9 p.m. Bree Bagwell, Do-Si Do. She's at the Big Barn May 4th, 6:30 p.m. Bree Bagwell. Go check her out. Do-Si Do, Big Barn, 45. Saturday, 27th. right here at the Game Changer.
There's a lot of stuff going on this weekend.
Right, you gotta pick your poison here for sure. So at Game Changer right here, they got Justin Smith, the Elvis impersonator. He's going to be doing a tribute concert there, and it's absolutely free.
Yeah. So while you're with the kids, you can stop by a Game Changer
Yeah,
and see Elvis.
you can come see Elvis
Yeah.
for a free show, and check out facebook.com/a-game-changer. I believe that's what it is, or just Google a Game Changer and you can get to their web. I think it's agamechanger.com.
A Game Changer. Yep.
Yeah. Jazz Fest, April 29th, 1 to 4 over at Grand Central Park, Conroe. And that's going to have the market. It's going to have the concert, the live music, and again, a free event.
Yeah.
I a lot of folks say, oh, I got to stay out because we don't want to spend any money. And I know, you still got to pay for gas. You still got to probably buy everybody a soda or something on the way. I'll spend $40 before I leave my neighborhood, So, but, it kind of ends there. When you get there, it's free. I mean, you can always, get other stuff, but when 1 and 4, it's not really that kind of pressure like an evening event that says, well, I'm hungry, or there's just more to it. Other than beverages and drinks like that, and hopefully you experience some good fair food, some good festival stuff, and some of the things you can't find everywhere else. And we were talking with Miss LeBeau, Vikki LeBeau, our new food commentary, a little bit about that fair food flair, and falafel, funnel cake, and just some
But
other
some good jazz music. That's
great
what it
jazz
is.
music. And last time I went, they had Cajun food. They had some crazy barbecue booth that was serving brisket grilled cheese sandwiches that were
gosh.
like
Yum.
this
Sounds
high, and I'm like, it's not normal. You know what I mean? It's not normal. And since then I've seen them in other places, and I think Moonshine Deck over on 105 sells one. But prior to, this was 2 years ago that I had this there. I had not seen it anywhere, and so it was. I hope to see some more, eye-opening foods like brisket grilled cheese,
love brisket
wow, right? Other than the fact they ran out really quick. It was gone. Brisket's gone. Like, oh, wow, you kind of underestimated the group here. So if I was going to be the food critic, I would say that they need to come with more food. We can only, asking for more can't be too bad of a strike on your business.
No.
You better come with a whole lot of brisket.
Yeah.
You come with one brisket, we're not going to like you until after that brisket's
But
gone.
what a way to draw people in, right? So
Yeah.
if you run out, that means you got to go see them at their brick and mortar.
I love you so far, right? And then when you ran out of brisket, I had to let you go. But, all right, so bring back Fab Five. It's the Beatles tribute band. These guys have a wardrobe change mid-set. They'll come out at the Sgt. Pepper with the colored ones, and then they'll change into their other outfit.
Cool.
I love a wardrobe. They're a little theatrics, they're a little showmanship. I remember them playing for the Houston Restaurant Association downtown, and we were at I can't remember what that place was. Whatever. They had their big dinner, the annual gala, and so we're over there doing this thing. And I had a really good time. My mom was my date, and I felt like it was appropriate because the Fab Five's she liked the Beatles, and we still didn't get to dance. I didn't get her to dance to anything. I think she danced with someone, but we had we had a really good time. And I remember I Papa's the Papa's brothers were there, and they and the Carrabba's family was
Johnny
there.
Carrabba.
Yeah, and I think they were auctioning a Carrabba painting of the Carrabba's brothers, right? It was real abstract. You could barely tell who it was. It was so abstract. And it was somewhere around 5,000-6,000. And I raised my card a couple times. My mom's all freaking out. It's like, what are you doing? I'm like, isn't it fun? Yeah, until you buy it. Then it's not so fun. You have Johnny Carrabba in your living room for the rest of your life.
I wouldn't mind.
There you go. So the Fab Five, the Beatles tribute band, is going to be over at Bernhardt Winery, April 28th, 5 to 7 p.m. The Derby Day Festival, same location, May 4th. And you can catch that 12 to 5. And you got to stay to the end to see if you win the contest. Come dressed to impress. Wear the sundress. You know what I'm saying?
Wear the hat.
That stuff. The hat. And what you call it?
The seersucker suit.
Seersucker. That thing. Seersucker.
I promise it's a thing.
I'm going to Google that when I get home. Same location. The Nightbird, Fleetwood Mac, is in Stevie Nicks tribute band. We've seen them. They're really good.
Yeah.
phenomenal. She's amazing. So they'll be out there May 4th, 7 to 9. Well, you're really going to have to work through these things to find out what you're going to do this weekend. But,
That's not a bad thing, though. A lot of the stuff going on in Conroe area, Montgomery County for sure, that
you
to
can't
have
cry.
So many things to do. It's a great thing to
It
have.
is. And but just so everyone knows, you can't cry in a bar. You know, I mean, you can't. You just can't. You can't. You know, you go out to your car, crank up some Bob Seger, and cry like a man. You know what I mean? Not at the bar.
I love Stevie Nicks and my top-down radio with some Fleetwood Mac as loud as can be.
Yeah, May 4th, 7 to 9. You get that on, and you can go cry over May 19th and crank up some Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band with Silver Seger, 6 to 8 p.m. That seems short. 6 to 8? Double check that. Wow. I mean, he's got like 32 number ones. I mean, I don't think you got enough time. May 19th over at Bernhardt Winery. You can catch that over there. The Silver Seger, Bob Seger tribute band. That's my kind of show. Okay, now, other than the free shows, Texas Mineral and Fossil Conroe show over at the Lone Star Convention Center, info at rockygems.com. And that's 9055 Airport Road, over there at the Lone Star Convention Center. It starts at 10 a.m. It is tomorrow, April 26th through 28th. I mean, you catch it. That's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Friday, Saturday, Sunday starts at 10 a.m. Free show. They've got rocks, fossils they're going to give the kids. I mean, they've got all kinds of handouts and giveaways there. It's educational. I think this is a home run here, and it really deserves our attendance. I hope everybody makes it out to go see that. I think that'd be a really cool get together, especially got kids. Yeah. What a treat to start there, and then maybe hit the Conroe Kids Fest after, and catch some School of Rock, and they get a little culture.
Elvis and a game changer.
Right, a little culture, a little music, a little history, a prehistoric. I like that. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. We've had our eye on that one for a few weeks now. So May 18th, just to recap, that's Josh Ward. He's going to be at the Preakness event over at the Sam Houston Raceway Park. And Cody Hibbard, our good friend Cody Hibbard, he's going to be with none other than Harley Ray opening for him. The guy that does, he's the guy that does the opening music for this show. Yeah, he's been on a couple times. He's performed at the LCF festival that we do and several events. Big fan of Harley Race. And they're going to be at District 249 in Tomball May 4th. Go see our friend Cody Hibbard. Get down on those mud bugs. It is a crawfish competition, and I think the first place prize is like $5,000 or something crazy like that. Right? And don't quote me. Honestly, I glanced at the multiple prize brackets, which alone to me that's attractive, that there's not just going to be one guy taking off with all the money and everybody else goes home kicking rocks. The cool part is that there is large purses for several different categories, which means what a compound purse, so that'll be distributed throughout through all the folks competing there in the cook-off, and it is $40, concert included, gate and everything, and all the crawfish you can hold down.
That's not bad.
Yeah, and there is just a ticket price where you don't get the little band and all the crawfish you can eat, so it even gets a little less than that. But who do that? I mean, $10 a pound, $8 a pound. I mean,
it's expensive now.
Yeah, you get to that 4 or 5 pounds, you're there. And a show?
Yeah.
I'll take it. I'll take that all day. District 249 in Tomball at May 4th. You can go down and catch those guys, Cody Hibbert and Harley Ray. The Crawfish Critic Cook-Off. Let's bring that one up. It's a big boy. Off I-45 at the Alligator, what is that place called? Alligator Grounds. What's that thing called? The Alligator Fields where they do the Crawfish Critic Cook-Off. It's like the mud races are held out there. Well, I'll put the link down below so you can see it. Most folks are aware of the Crawfish Critic Cook-Off, and they're 5 pounds of crawfish walking in, $15 VIP. There's a whole bunch of information on pricing.
$45.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
May 17th.
May 17th and 18th. And Barsh Auto is one of the sponsors for this event, I believe. I know he was last year and did the trophies and a few other things, and you can catch those guys out there, as well as the Crawfish Critic. I can't remember the butter. My crawfish butter guy, Richard Snow, the Snows. Richard, love that crawfish butter. I'll put that link down there. You just send me some more of that butter. We got a deal going. I get crawfish butter, and I
didn't know
mentioned
there
them on the
was,
show.
Crawfish butter.
It's just a sample,
Okay.
about a gallon sample. He has no idea. He has no idea he owes me a gallon of crawfish butter. But anyway, it's a thing. It's good for dipping, whatnot. All your crawfish while you're sitting there for hours on end, dipping into that stuff over it. Now, last year, this event was packed.
Really?
Sold out. They sold all the crawfish they had. There were crowds that just immense. So I know that they'll only improve on that. And the folks are inspired to go there. They're going to go again. We're going. I mean, it's
that's
happening.
almost the end of real crawfish season. So the end of May is usually whenever.
Yeah, that's happening. And that's a good event. It's at 15100 I-45 South. And you can check out Crawfish Critic Cook-Off to get the details on that event, pricing and all that. Tickets are available online. You can go get all that now. And you had the Insperity Invitational. What is that?
Golf.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
At Woodlands Country Club
Oh.
on April 29th.
Okay.
So just be aware of traffic, just FYI. If you're not going to be going to watch, and traffic will be bad.
All right. And you also had the Mother's Day buffet. We talked about that.
Yep.
And that's all of us, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Well, guys, thank you for watching the show today. Really enjoyed all the entertainment today. And I'd like special thanks to our friends over at Chapel Pressure Washing. One call, we spray it all. 936-520-8702. You also... Barsh Auto, we mentioned those guys. True Texas Solar, our sponsor today on the show, and of course the Hyatt for letting you come out and visit with us. We always appreciate that. We look forward to more reviews from Vikki LeBeau. Thank you for coming. We'll see you on the Text Ticket next week, Friday at 1 o'clock.
Giving you the news and what's really